Thank you, Katie. Now to the breaking news that we've been tracking tonight. A landmark vote in Palm Springs. News Channel 3's Shay Lawson standing by live outside council chambers in Palm Springs with reaction. But we begin with team coverage with John breaking down tonight's historic vote.
That's right, Karen. That vote coming late tonight, just after 8 o'clock, after dozens of people addressed the city council at issue Section 14, that area of tribal land next to the downtown area where hundreds of mostly minority residents were evicted, mostly in the 50s and 60s, to make way for new development. Well, tonight, the city council deciding in a 5-0 vote to pay for the city's role in destroying the properties of some of those residents.
Motion passes 5-0.
Celebration after decades of struggle over what happened on Section 14 6 decades ago. Pearl Devers, one of the forces behind Section 14 survivors.
It's a historical moment for my community, my family, my friends, and just the city that I love so much. This city is my soil.
The council laid out the settlement one by one, $5.91 million for qualified residents and descendants, based on $30,000 per home for 197 non-abandoned properties the city participated in destroying. The mayor explaining that the city was protected by the statute of limitations, but this was a moral obligation, not a legal one.
They could have filed a lawsuit which would have gone on for years and cost millions, but we know from the historical records that the city did do some wrongs and property was destroyed that before the evictions were fully carried out.
Many speakers talked about the cowboy mayor, Frank Bogert, the mayor whose statue was removed from City Hall over the city's actions. Friends of Frank Bogert, Executive Director Doug Evans, talked with members of the group ahead of the meeting.
This is not our night. This is between the city council and the survivors. Friends of Frank Bogert has taken no position on the agreement discussions. We never have, we never will. That's between the survivors and the city. Our goal is to correct the facts regarding Frank Bogert.
Some members of the public and council members asking about the role of the Agua Caliente tribal members in the evictions. In the end, the council deciding
the city can take responsibility for the city, right? But also, this tribe has sovereign land, and I'm glad that they're able to develop it and benefit economically, because they also deserve that, because they've also experienced tremendous loss in this country, and I never want to take that away from them.
There are still questions about how much money each Section 14 resident and descendant will receive of that nearly $6 million. Attorney Arifa Martin saying now's not the time for that discussion.
Never really about money. These people only wanted recognition. Back in the 70s and 80s when their parents were fighting for this, if the city had recognized them back then, we wouldn't even be here today. It's never been about money. It's always been about recognizing the contributions they've made to this city.
It is a complex history, as Councilmember Lisa Middleton told me tonight. There are 100 sides to this story. Council members, in their approval tonight, also asked that a recently released historical context study be peer-reviewed, and they supported a day of remembrance with details to be worked out later. As I already pointed out, dozens of people spoke their minds tonight, covering some of those many sides to this story. News Channel 3's Shay Lawson talked to many of them to get their reactions and continues team coverage now live at City Hall. Shay.
That's right. Tonight, emotions running high right here at Palm Springs Council Chamber. Those who identify as Section 14 survivors and their descendants were celebrating this decision, and they tell me they've been waiting for this moment for years. Now, after the city voted to pass that settlement, dozens of attendees gathered outside the council chamber. I spoke to some longtime Palm Springs residents about the decision, and the reactions were mixed.
I'm concerned that current taxpayers are paying for a perceived ill that happened long before many of us were in Palm Springs. I certainly know that pain was inflicted upon the people in Section 14, but it's a really difficult issue to address now 60 years later.
They deserve what they deserve. And, you know, you can pass the buck, and that's what's happening right now. We all just pretend bad things aren't happening, and they are. And our future generations pay the price. So, you know, there needs to be some form of justice besides pretty heartfelt speeches and statues and things like that.
also spoke with advocates who traveled from San Diego to witness this decision firsthand. One advocate says that the world is watching, emphasizing that this decision is setting a powerful example. Section 14 survivors and their family members will hold a press conference tomorrow. News Channel 3 will bring you updates then as survivors share what this decision means to them. Reporting live in Palm Springs, Shay Lawson, News Channel 3.
Thank you.